I wish there were palm trees on 495. I wish there were palm trees.
We are on apartment 84 on the 15th floor. No. We're actually in a bus. Nick Esposito, Mike White for the 495 podcast, brought to you by Greater Long Island Media Group. And we are with Jose Rivera and Catherine Ovejas.
Yes.
Hours of practice that took.
Yes.
And we are here on apartment 84. It's actually a school bus, a converted school bus. What year is this?
It's a 2001 International.
2001 International. It's gorgeous. And
Thank you.
You wouldn't know that inside is looks like a beach house meets like luxury apartment. This is just
That's awesome.
Unbelievable.
Super cozy.
Thankfully, if you go to Facebook, if you go to Greater Bay Shore on Facebook, you'll be able to see the live feed and you'll be able to see some visuals. And so, yeah, we are so excited to be here. We're pumped. We're outside Nikki's on the Bay. It's April 3rd, 2019. Nikki's opens tomorrow for the 2019 season. And someone from Nikki's may come out here during the show to talk to us a little bit about the season. And, yeah, so here we are. We're pumped. You guys were getting tours from people as we were parked here today, right?
Oh, it never ends. It never ends. We
Yeah.
can go buy gas, and all of a sudden,
Everyone just floods you.
people think it's a tour bus to come take a look.
Yeah. I went into this thing cold because I knew you guys have gotten written up in Newsday. You were on CBS News, right, in New York?
Yeah.
But I wanted to go in cold because I have so many questions, and I'm sure you do too, Nick.
I actually saw them over the winter time. They were at the Winter on the Bay Festival in Copiague at Tanner Park, and I was with my fiance, and we just bopped around, and I'm like, what is this thing? Like, I saw a bunch of people like inside this bus, and I'm like, what's going on in there? And then like you stick your head into this thing, and it's just everyone hanging out, relaxing, lounging. It's just such a cozy, fun feel, and everyone was enjoying it. So I'm sure you guys see that all day and night every time you bring this somewhere.
Yeah, we get that a lot. Everyone that comes in here be saying like it's so cozy, so relaxing. I just want to stay here, and they don't want to leave. And,
Yeah, you don't want to leave.
You can feel it. It has a nice feel to it.
It's awesome.
It's like Amagansett on wheels. Seriously. So I'm so curious to hear about you guys and your story. For one thing that I love, aside from the decor and the beach house feel, is all these inspiring sayings you have. Say yes to new adventures. There's a couple in the back that escape me, but who's behind all the signage here?
Yeah, I love anything that has a positive feel. I don't like to keep it too Instagrammy, where it seems like it's the motivational quote of the day, but
It's cool.
It's
cool. It's inspiring, and it definitely gives insight into you guys and your attitude toward life. Something like this doesn't just happen by sitting around being miserable, right?
No, that's true. No, we like to inspire. We like to. We're very creative and we're entrepreneurs, so we like to inspire people. To see new things, to see new ways, see the possibilities. Like what we did with the 2001 school bus.
It's amazing.
And the things you can do pretty much with anything. You just got to put your mind to it and get it done.
And especially, there's so much creativity that's to go into building a place like this and all the different ins and outs of it. If you see in the back, they have a bathroom, a stand-up shower, a whole lounge area with a TV and like a couch. How many people could sleep in here at once as far as beds? I
built at first, it was good enough for 1, 2, 4, 3. But now I added more, so you could actually have 3 in the back, a 4th person in the front day bed, another one across on the day bed, a smaller person,
a
kid,
person, like my size.
Yeah, and a small kid above the wheel well area there where you have that sitting area. So everything that is actually a day bed, that's what it is. It's a sitting area and also a bed, So you can fit 7 people, here to sleep comfortably.
Awesome.
7 people comfortably.
And there's a misconception out there that some people that tour in here think that you guys live in here, but that's not the case, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's not the case.
It's built so a family or a couple or whatever can live in it. It has everything you need. But we don't. We're builders, we're designers, and this was a creative passion project for us.
Yeah.
So you just party on it.
Yeah. But, you do have everything. You have the shower, you have the instant hot water heater, you have a fridge, you have an oven, AC, heat. So you have everything that you would need. and actually I would live in it, you know, really, because it's actually fun, you know. It's like
I would love to live in this.
it's different than in a home, you know. In a home, it's nice and everything. You have all the space, but you have all these walls. With the school bus, you don't have any walls, you know. It's like it's all open, and that's one of the reasons I kept all the windows and I didn't eliminate any windows, because I wanted to connect with the outside. And this was the one. I actually didn't want to build any walls, but you do need some privacy in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So that's the only place you're gonna see walls here.
Okay, gotcha. Do you though need some privacy? Let's just end that stuff. Yeah,
Depends,
and you're right.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of household do you have?
But yeah, and you're right. I mean, we're sitting here outside of Nicky's. We're on the Great South Bay, and if you didn't have all these windows, we wouldn't be enjoying this beautiful view here.
Panoramic view.
Yeah, so not only are we on the bus and we're hanging out, we're sitting here on the water on Long Island, and what's better than that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, how did this come together?
That's a great question.
Well, you know, they're called schoolies. When you convert a school bus into a home, they call them schoolies, and it's been done, I think, since the 60s. It was very popular in the West, and still is. And, you know, I'm one of those guys that does a lot of research, and I'm always looking into different things. And
I've seen a couple of vans been transferred.
yeah, the vans also, yeah.
Yeah.
So this really caught my attention. I said, you know what, I would love to build one. And one day I decided to go for it. And this bus was actually still taking kids to school when I bought it in New Jersey, Patterson, New Jersey.
You kicked the kids off the bus.
Yeah, so
You stole the kids' school bus.
Yeah.
Now all those kids are walking to school.
no, they had new ones. They had new ones coming.
Those poor kids.
You outbid them.
Yeah, but they were asking $4,500 for the bus, and I'm like, I talked to the guy. I'm like, listen, I'll give you $35, you know, because there was a lot of work that was gonna go into it. You know, the bus.
This had seats in it and everything.
Yeah, like it's not all that much for the bus, but think about the bill, think about everything that's gonna go into it.
Putting the bathroom,
Oh,
the
forget it.
electric.
Yeah.
Right. So we came to an agreement, $3,500. The guy drove it up to me, and I was living in upstate New York at that time. He brought it up to me, filled up the tank, so that was great. And I started working on it. I started taking all the seats out and everything, and it was a lot of work, and then a lot of planning how I was gonna go about it. Because if you look at a lot of other schoolies, they're very closed in, you know, a lot of walls, very closed in. So that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted a full open concept where it felt open, where it felt spacious for 225 square feet. And you know, we accomplished that.
Oh, you certainly did. Now, where were you living at the time?
I was in upstate New York by Monticello.
Okay. They just built a casino over there,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Very nice.
Correct, yeah.
How many miles were on the van? I mean,
On this, it had like 128,000. Right now it's at 135,000 miles, but this is a diesel, so you know,
It's gonna run quite a bit.
if you know about
Wow.
diesels, and you know, you could get quite a bit, like over 500,000 to 1,000,000 miles on it.
And
So
the gas is usually cheaper than regular gaseline, right?
it used to be, not anymore.
Oh, now-
now
now
diesel
flipped?
is like, yeah, all of a sudden they gave us this flip,
Just in
like, hey, I'm
time.
gonna charge you more now.
Just in
You
time.
don't buy a bus and think that you're going to get amazing gas mileage.
Okay,
So
true.
that's not, you know.
Yeah,
That's
I think
true.
this gets around, depending, you know, down here in Long Island is all pretty flat. So, you know, I can see anywhere between 7 and 9 miles per gallon, you know, which isn't bad. If you take this up to the mountains and you're hitting those hills, then, you know,
Right.
that would definitely drop.
So how long did it take for you guys to transform this bus into what it is today? Was it over a year, or was it months?
When I took it up there and I really got into it, it took me 6 months, but I did pretty much everything by myself. I did hire a couple guys to come in, like electricians, to help me out with some stuff. But you know, I would bring in people that are like, that's impossible, you can't do it. And like, listen, we're gonna get it done. Like one way or another, this is gonna happen. And so it took a lot of me, you know, to be able to figure everything out.
Your vision and your drive.
Right, because, you know, I bring in an electrician, he only knows about houses, and he looks at this like, oh, no, you know, like they're just used to grabbing it off the pole and bringing it through. Like,
It's a different beast altogether.
so this is completely different setup. And,
So
you know, so 6 months to get the build done, and then, you know, along the way, we ended up adding more, like the deck on top. And
we still have plans.
Deck
We're
is
not
awesome.
quite finished. I mean, it is complete, but there's some little touches that we want to do.
2 decks.
Yeah.
2 decks.
I have an idea. I have a $1 million idea for you. 2 decks.
But we also have solar panels up front on top of the bus, and those are 400 watts. So
I could add more panels. We're going to put a flip-down bar table hanging off the side of it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You got your wine here, so
Yeah.
you need a bar.
Yeah. So we do that.
So
When did you guys come down to Long Island?
I've been
Yeah.
here for a couple of years.
so you weren't up in
and-
Monticello. Were you
No.
Were you involved with this from the beginning or no?
No, not from the beginning.
So, Kat, when did you get involved?
He is a master builder and just really super creative. And I am passionate about design, and I wanted to do a project like this or something crazy. You know, I looked at other things too, and I was considering an Airstream project. I was considering a van. I was considering a camper. But I really like the bus concept. I like that you can drive it. You'd be surprised, some people, when we bring it out, they ask us, how did you get here? And they forget, guess what? We drove it. It's actually
It's a
drivable.
new
you know?
invention
It's-
called the wheel.
Yeah, they think it's almost like a prop.
Right,
And they
like a movie
forget
prop or
that
something.
it's
Yeah.
actually a working vehicle that drives itself.
Yep.
You know?
There's a
sure-
DMV registration here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when you go get an inspection, I'm sure they like scratch their heads, like, what is this thing?
Oh, let me tell you, when I went to DMV, I think it took me 3 trips for them to figure out what to even call this or how to classify it. And I was trying to tell them from my research how to do it. And right now, it's no longer a school bus. It's classified and titled as Home on Wheels. RV, Home on Wheels. I mean, depending on who you talk to at DMV, they'll scratch their heads a million times.
Yeah,
They'll
yeah.
go get their manager a million times. And
This sounds just like a normal trip to the DMV to me.
it was hell. It was absolute hell.
Yeah, I'm sure it took more time at the DMV to even build this thing. It's probably 40 hours.
Now, Kat, when did you get involved? When in the process?
So, after the build was, I would say, the conversion. So they call it bus conversions is
Okay.
really what they call it, or it's schoolie conversions. We didn't come up with the term schoolie. Schoolie is what you call a school bus turned into something else. So right after he did the conversion, and then we started on design, and I feel bad because I ripped up some of the things that he did. And
You came in there.
And then I came in, and then
Woman
one
came in,
day
it's like, nah,
he came back in and
snapped
said,
your
well,
neck.
I still need to work on it. And then he took it back, and he started ripping up stuff I did. It was kind of,
Oh, it worked.
it was definitely a collaboration.
Two heads are better than one in
Two
this
heads are
case.
better than one, and I think we work well together. But that used to be
Keep that thing right there.
sure.
Kat keeps looking away from the mic.
Sorry, I'm listening.
You gotta go like this.
Guys, I'm a hot-blooded Filipino. I talk with my hands. I keep joking. I always say people ask us all the time, you should have a show on HDTV.
Yeah.
This reminds me of those tiny house shows.
It really does. Yeah.
And I keep saying, gosh, HGTV would be lucky to have us. They would have the loudest Filipino and loudest Puerto Rican guy ever, and it would be.
Middle America would not know what to think of this
I
whole
think it would
scene.
be the most flavor that HGTV has ever
Seriously.
seen. They would not know what to think.
That would be awesome. Actually, they should have just like a whole schoolie show on HDTV,
That'd be amazing.
right? Just
Yeah,
all converted.
actually, when we was at the Maker Fair, we were, for the listeners, 2018 of
Last summer.
September.
Yeah.
in Queens, right outside the New York
Right.
Hall of
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah, they do the Maker Fair. They're well known worldwide, and we was invited. Well, we kind of signed up at the last minute, and they saw a couple of pictures. They're like, "Oh wow, wait a minute, we need to have you guys." So they brought us in at the last minute. We went in, and we actually blew it off the park. We was one of the best projects to look at, and there's thousands there.
Yeah.
So they put us in the tiny home section. And we had lines lined up, one line for the deck, another one to come in. It was like we had people in here 10 at a time. And, I hate rushing people, but we literally had to rush people out. Like, I'm sorry, you got to run in, look
was
at it, and come
unexpected.
right back
We didn't-
out.
Right.
Yeah, we
Because
didn't know.
it was the whole weekend. It was like, it was our first time. And, it went great. Like, people loved it. And then we was getting a lot of people saying, "Oh, you guys should have your own HGTV show. I would love to watch you guys."
Yeah.
So it's like let's see what happens. You never know, you know. But
Maybe
for-
we'll. Sorry, go ahead.
no, that's all right. But yeah, for now we'll see. You know, I do custom builds. You know, right now I'm also working on 1977 Volkswagen bus.
Oh wow.
So that's gonna be done. You know, within a few months, I'll have that done. So I'm always working on different projects. You know, this one's done. Move on to the next.
Gotcha.
And where'd you guys come up with the name Apartment 84?
So that's the way that I think of this is as an apartment, right? Because I think of tiny spaces as an apartment because I'm a real New York girl, and the 8 and the 4 are last year. Those are the ages of my kids from last year, which is when the bus was pretty much done.
Cool.
So it just reminds me they were 8 and 4 when this was launched, essentially.
Gotcha. Now, what do you guys do with this? Other than now, one question: when you were at the show outside the
Maker
two
Faire?
very nice people, so you had to kind of like regulate, right? Like get people moving because it's such an Instagram friendly scene. People probably it's not like 20 years ago. People would have just walked in, looked around, walked off. Now they're sitting there, they're taking selfies, they're like texting their friends, and you had to like tell people to get moving.
Yeah, we had people climbing into the shower.
Yeah,
I mean,
we had to call for help. Like after the first day, we actually had Catherine's friend come in and help us out because it got pretty crazy.
You needed a bouncer.
She was a godsend.
Yeah.
She was a bouncer. So she was amazing. So she monitored the deck. So we had 2 lines. We had a line to come into the bus, and then we had a line to climb on top of the deck, on top of the bus, because it offered views of Maker Faire. So if you
look at
see
that.
all these amazing pictures of Maker Faire, a lot of them on Instagram, they're from the top of our bus.
Gotcha. Yeah, of course. Panoramic views of
It
Maker
was-
Faire.
Yes.
Wow, how cool.
To answer your other questions on what we do with this, so what we try and do, we're trying to have other people enjoy the Skoolie experience, you know, not take it all to ourselves. So most people that build Skoolies, actually, they live in it, you know, they use it for personal use, but no one else really gets to enjoy it. So we're trying to bring a whole new idea here to Long Island to let people be able to enjoy the Skoolie experience. So what we came up with, we do wine tours here in Long Island, you know, to start off with. We also do paddle surf tours here in Long Island, you know. And we also use this as different, as a pop-up shop. You know, if you have a business, you want to set up in here, this is a good way to get people to come, you know, look at the bus and for you to be able to put your product out, you know, connect with people. So, you
Sell
know,
some T-shirts out of here. Now.
yeah. So, you know, we actually, you can see on both sides, we have bars, you can hang stuff. So we're trying to, you know, pretty much get everyone involved with the whole Skoolie thing and, you know, look at it, appreciate it, inspire people. We also donate our time. We've been to the school. Like Kat talked about that.
And Lindenhurst, you guys are from Lindenhurst, right?
Yeah, so I'm in Lindenhurst, and actually we're going to be at the Lindenhurst Library on April 27th. That's part of Earth Day. They're doing an Earth Day program, and we're going to talk a little bit about sustainability and Earth. And what better way to kick that off than show something that used to be a school bus and no longer is, you know? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But really, I'm fascinated with anything that's been converted and made into something else, especially when it comes to taking something like this and creating a business out of it, or it could be anything. I like to think of it as beyond a food truck, because whenever people think of businesses on wheels, they say, "Oh, it's a food truck." But there is someone that actually just built a school bus and is going to launch it as a restaurant.
That's awesome.
Where's that?
Where's that?
We're always looking for
Somebody in New York,
leads.
they built it in Colorado. They should have come to us. We could have built it for them.
Right?
But you can do so much. The possibilities are endless.
What do you think about, because we were looking at new spaces in Patchogue, what do you think if we just bought a school bus, hired Jose to build Greater Long Island
down.
Media
That's
Group
down. We
headquarters?
can do
down.
it.
We would have the coolest newsroom the world has ever seen.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Where do you find a bus though?
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go to
Just look around; they're everywhere.
Yeah, when you drive and you see, you know, where all the school buses park, then go in there, talk to them, tell them what school buses they need to get rid of. Because, see, the good thing about a school bus, and it's a good decision, is because they don't get rid of it because there's something wrong with the bus. They get rid of it because the school it's, you know, the only one, all right, it can only be up to 5 years old or 10 years old, and then you have to get rid of it, you know. But they maintain the buses constantly. They have to be, you know, constantly be checked, maintained. So they're good. It's a good way to go. You know, you can't really go wrong with a school bus.
And they're tanks. These things are built. I mean, this is Armageddon heaven. If you're
an end of days person.
The shit hits the fan.
I could buy you one of those.
This would probably work really well.
So I'm very interested in the tours that you guys have mentioned. When did that whole thing
We
start?
want to go on a tour.
Yeah, we want to go on a tour.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Let's start with the wine tour first. When did you guys first start doing wine tours?
Well, people brought those ideas to us, you know, because they will come in here, you know, and that's the thing. You need to listen to people. You need to listen to what they want. And that brought all those ideas to us. Like, oh, I would love to take this and do a wine tour. I would love to do a tailgate thing, you know, which we thought about it, but I don't know. You know, it will get kind of crazy.
Yeah, a lot
They'll
of
mess
drunk
up.
people
Yeah, like
spilling stuff
I
everywhere.
don't know about that. But, you know, so that's the thing, you know, you got to listen to what people want, you know, and that's how it came up. It was pretty much the people that came that brought those ideas to us. You know, like with Kat, like, her idea was to do the pop-up deal, which is great, and we are doing that also. But we also want to have people, like I said before, enjoy the Skoolie Experience and, you know, and see how it is, you know.
Yeah, so we do the private wine tours. You know, we pick up groups. We bring them to 3 wineries. They get to have the bus to themselves for the entire tour.
And who's driving?
It will be Jose.
I'll be driving. I'll be driving.
I can drive. Jose taught me how to drive this bus, but no one drives like Jose. I mean, he backs this up.
We watched it
like
just
it's
now.
like it's nothing.
And especially, I had all of my podcast equipment, my laptop, everything was just like everywhere on the ground. And Jose backed this thing up, and nothing even moved.
No, he's
No, you know, I said
he's
that. Like,
impressive with his driving.
the day that I can't drive, I'll put a driver in it. I'm going to make sure that he drives in a way that people can't feel him, you know, like, I don't want hard braking. I don't want quick takeoffs. Like, learn how to
He's
drive.
talking about me.
You know, I want people to drive in a way that keeps it smooth and a nice ride for everyone, you know. It is a 2001 international, so it's not going to be the most comfortable ride like a 2019. But at least I can do my part of not making it so rough, you know, by driving smooth.
It's like a great pilot,
Right?
You know,
Right.
Shouldn't feel that landing.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, we were parked further along the bay, and we had a couple here that were parked. We needed to move over here to run an extension cord, and then the couple refused to move, even though we're in Bayshore Marina. The place is massive, and so Jose had to thread a needle here to get us a little closer to Nikki's. So. Nice job on that.
Good job.
What are your guys' favorite thing about the bus as far as, you know, the interior experience here? Me personally, I love those couches in the back. I want to go lay down right now.
Watch TV.
Yeah.
You know, to me, honestly, the best thing that I like about it is to be able to share this.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like the most. You know, if there's a spot in the bus that I like the most.
Where do you spend the most time when you're hanging out back here?
I guess where we're at right now in the front.
Right.
You know, it's comfortable.
Breaking bread, talking,
That's it.
sharing wine.
Wine, always gotta have the
like
wine.
the front.
You
Yeah,
know,
the front is awesome.
Yeah, the back is awesome. You know, there's a TV back there behind the wall, the shower, and it's a great spot to be able to, you know, lounge out and have a few drinks, play some cards, you know, talk to people. Like, we had a lot of people when they came in, they would hang out in the back, you know, like families. Like, we have 7 persons back there, and they're just chilling, you know.
Yeah.
And do you guys rent this for people to sleep overnight, like an Airbnb?
You
type of
know,
thing?
we did start that with Airbnb.
Yeah.
But, you know.
We only have one bus, so that's the challenge, right?
Yeah.
So once it's out, and if it's out overnight, it becomes a lot of hours that the bus is not someplace else doing a wine tour or a
Right.
sup tour or
Sure.
you know, a private event or
You
a
know, we
festival.
got people that want to rent it for a whole week. It's like, wait a minute, I can't give you the bus for the whole week. It's like, I need it.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer, there's so many different festivals and events.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
exactly.
Nick's planning a honeymoon. Would you give it to him for a week?
You know, we do like weddings and stuff. Like, you know, someone's having a wedding, they
Yeah.
can hire us, and
Instead
we
of
can,
a limo, I'd
you know,
rather drive in this
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
You know, something cool, relaxing, and you know, this is a completely new experience. So, you know, they say like there's no comfort like home. So this is home on wheels. So you can actually travel in the comforts of a home, you know, to your location. That's, you know, that's what's so cool about this.
So it's in high demand. So you guys are renting this, you know, when you, like, how does it work? How's the transaction work? Do you go on your website and pick out what you want to do? Just call you and it's informal?
They have to contact us directly because we need to make sure that it's available.
Right.
I mean, we have bookings all the way through. I have a booking for November.
Wow. And it's mostly weekends?
No, for example, Memorial Weekend is booked. I've got a party in November. I've got another event in September. I've got a couple of wine tours coming up in May. So it's a mixed bag. And then we have several different events that we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the car show out at Tobay Beach. We're going to be doing community events, and we're going to be doing some other festivals. And I think Nikki from Nikki's on the Bay just mentioned that we should be doing some
Arts
other
on the
things
Bay.
out here, Arts on the Bay, that could be a fun thing to do as well.
That'd be,
so
you guys would have a, talk about a line down the block.
As long as we're available, I'm open to it.
Cool.
And where's the furthest that you guys have taken Apartment 84 to?
Queens.
Yeah.
Queens.
You know,
Norfolk.
besides upstate, you know, where our brother from and stuff, and they, you know, most of the work.
Yeah.
But yeah, regarding the car show we're gonna be at, that's coming up here April 28th, correct?
April 28th. That's gonna we're
Where the location is
Tobay Beach.
Tobay Beach, you know. So it's, you know, your listeners want to come by, check us out, you know, they're more than welcome to.
Do it. It's perfect, those festivals, because not only do you get to share the Skoolie Experience with hundreds or thousands of people over a day or a weekend, you also get to push your business. And it's like perfect, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're not trying.
I'm sure. Once you're in here, you're just like, my mind is racing of all the things I want to do. In this place.
Like I said, we want to hear from anyone that comes on board, and we love to hear feedback. We love to show it off. I don't mind if people go up on top of the deck. You have to climb. They think they can. Well, he does this little. So we still have the original bus. I don't even know what you call this, latch.
The hatch,
the hatch or latch or whatever you call it. And Jose climbs up through there. And some people try to follow him, but I don't let anyone do that.
Well, yeah, don't follow me.
Don't
Like
follow him. You gotta go in the back and climb up the ladder.
So it's like the complete opposite effect of like when you're a kid and you see the bus rolling around, you're like, oh shoot, I gotta go to class. And now you see this thing, and you just bring smiles to everyone's face.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the kids love it. You know,
my goodness.
Oh yeah, exactly. What did the kids say?
Yeah, the kids, they be telling, they'll be like, Mom, can we buy this? Can we take it home?
Yeah.
Oh, they ask us how much it is.
Yeah, how much?
They
we
think
buy
we're
it.
selling it.
You know, I stopped like when we went to Queens for a sample. You know, you get the red light, so I stopped. And the kid would not cross the street because he couldn't stop getting his eyes off the bus, you know. So,
It's
you know,
cute.
yeah, it's cool,
cute.
you know. So, you know, it's all about inspiration, you know, being able to inspire and get that creative mind working, you know. And this does that, you know. When you come in here, it's like it gets your brain running, you know. You're looking at everything.
Absolutely
like
does.
people is like, you think it was, you know, it's 225 square feet, but for you to get through this bus, it's like you're looking at so much, you know, there's so much to look at, and you like, you know, your mind is running, how this go on there, how this happen here, you know, and there's so many questions, you know, which is cool, you know. I'm all
It's
about
just
it.
like,
Some people think things are fake in here, so they'll say, "Oh my goodness, is that a real fridge?" And they'll open the fridge.
it's not the World's Fair.
Yeah, they think,
you know,
they
it's
think
actually
it's a bunch of props.
Yeah.
You know.
This place is. It's just like an endorphin rush being in here, right? Like, it's hard to be in a bad mood or depressed when you're on this bus.
Oh, that's awesome! I love it.
Yeah, we have a great energy in this bus. You know, it's very, very good energy. Like everyone that comes on here says that. It's like the energy in here just is so great. You know, and they just feel so comfortable. They feel like they're at home. You know, how you guys feel? You guys feel like,
exactly.
you know,
I
you guys
can't even
comfortable?
describe it. I'm like all tingly. And yeah, I'm serious, man. Great Long Island headquarters.
Be on wheels.
We're in Patchogue right now, but we have sites all over the island. And sometimes it's hard because we're working out of Patchogue all the time. And, you know, it's hard sometimes to, like, you know, to get that same connection when you're not in that area.
Right.
So if we had a newsroom in a school bus.
He's so serious.
I am so serious.
Oh, we're so down.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
We could,
it
you know,
brings
one
that
month-
energy in you. Like, you want to do more, you know,
Actually,
like in a
you're
space
gonna
like this.
Wake up in the morning and can't wait to get to work. And yeah, we could just park this in Port Jeff for a month, you know, and work out of Port Jeff. And
Yeah.
just like,
then
it
you
would
go,
be
we change your
so...
scenery.
Jose will give you
Effing
driving
perfect.
lessons.
Yeah, we'll get driving lessons from Jose. We'll get, you know, inspiring, you know, words of wisdom every day when we came in here.
Yeah.
Really, I just so awesome. I'm serious.
What's the most difficult thing
He's so
to
serious.
make or that you had to put in the bus?
Yeah. Good question.
The bathroom, you know, like the whole idea when I started this build was to keep everything as open as possible. You know, I didn't want it to feel closed in because I'm working with a small space. So the bathroom was like the thing that took me the longest to figure out. Is like, how do I go about the bathroom where I don't close in the space that I have? So I really kind of like, all right, I'm gonna do the bathroom today. No, I'm gonna skip the bathroom today because I haven't figured that out yet. You know, so it took me. Yeah, so the bathroom was probably the one that was hardest. You know, to really know which way I was gonna go with it. You know, and about it.
How does the shower work?
Well, we have as you can see here in the wall, one of the walls of the bathroom, it has the tank hanging on there. That's the instant hot water heater there, and then I have a 55. We have a 55-gallon water tank underneath the bus, and
So that's
you
the
know,
water source, not for drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then you have a water pump. So the water pump pumps that out, brings it to the instant hot water heater. That takes it to the shower, and, you know, you have hot water. And and then when you're done, obviously when the water goes down, then it goes to a gray tank. Gray tank, you know, like in an RV, they say black tank or gray tank. Black tank is where all your dirty water goes into, including your toilet water. But gray tank is where only your sink and your shower water goes into. So this only has a gray tank. And the toilet is a compost toilet, so it has its own, you know,
Self-contained.
self-contained. So it has like a split unit, so you take it out.
Like a boat?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Gotcha.
so that's the way I decided to go with this one. But you can go so many different ways, you know. Like the price on a toilet can go up to like $3,000. I don't want to spend $3,000 on a toilet. You
Right,
know?
right.
So you paid for the bus.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Those are insane toilets. Those are incinerating toilets. So it does exactly that.
Wow.
Just burns it
It
or somehow
takes the waste and.
makes into fumes or
But
something.
you know, for $3,000,
It fuels the bus, actually.
It should do that kind of magic.
Should
you
do
know?
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to build a second Skoolie, for me, you would already have that stuff figured out, so you wouldn't really have to think about it as much, right? Or
Well,
is every bus a little different?
Yeah, it's always a difference because it depends your concept on what exactly it is that you want, where you want to set up the bathroom at.
We don't
you
need a
know,
shower.
And then what kind of toilet you want to go with, stuff like that. If you want to go with something simple, then we can do that. You know, that's a lot easier. But yes, you know, going into a second, third, fourth conversion, it becomes a lot easier.
Sure.
You know,
And
the first one.
is there a whole online community of like schoolies that like,
Right.
like
Oh,
a
yeah.
Is there like a
Facebook group?
convention in Daytona
There's a
Beach for Skoolies?
forum. They do fairs and meetups, and there's one that's going to take place, I think this month or next month in Oregon, and you know, we're not going to do that trek. Obviously.
Yeah, that's a trek.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of
9
tiny house
counts.
festivals. So now schoolies there's a whole schoolie movement, and with the tiny house movement, it's becoming more and more popular. And this is a part of the tiny house movement.
Yeah, it is. You know,
You guys are on trend.
yeah, the whole conversion and schoolie thing is really like, it's been around for a while, but it has a really like shooting off right now. Like it's getting much bigger, a lot more attention. I've had elderly people to say, I'm living in this big house by myself. I just want to sell all that, get a conversion, and just travel. You know, go see my family. I'll be able to stay in it, and then I can move to point A to point B. You know, so they can move around,
Yeah.
give them that flexibility. You know, and they don't have to deal with the whole thing about owning a home, the taxes, the cutting grass. You know, all this stuff that come with owning a home.
Now, what's cooler about, like, why wouldn't someone like that just buy like an RV? Are they just cost prohibitive?
No, you could.
RV
You could. RVs, just like schoolies or just like anything, can range in cost, right? You can get an RV, use one for a couple grand. Then you can get some ridiculous $200,000 RV, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it depends on what your needs are, right? For a Skoolie, they're stronger. I think they're stronger, and most people aren't going to be on that spectrum of buying the $200,000 RV.
Right.
Yeah, and you have the custom build. You know, you could spend $200,000 in a conversion, you know. But, you know, it's a custom build. So be able to get something the way you want it, just like a house. You know, if you're going to build a house or you buy a house and you're going to renovate the house, you get it done the way you want, you know, for you to be comfortable and what you enjoy. So when they buy a Skoolie or a school bus, I mean, because it's not a Skoolie until it's converted, they have that space where they can build it into what they want, what works for them, what's going to be comfortable and right for them. So, you know, that's the whole thing about the whole school bus thing, and that's why a lot of people choose that way.
Now, you know, they have like Jeep Week down in Ocean City or Daytona. Do they have like Skoolie conventions here on the East Coast? Are you guys planning on hitting? Or?
Well, on the East Coast, I haven't seen a whole lot of things about Skoolies because it's really more on the West.
There's tiny house festivals that they do up in Massachusetts. We were invited to one of those, and there's a couple of different ones that they do, but I haven't seen one dedicated just to Skoolies. I would like to host a meetup, and I'll probably do it soon this year, for just cool conversions, and it doesn't have to be Skoolies. It could be vans, it could be businesses on wheels, truck on wheels. Like, we know the girl who owns Lola's. I don't know if you know Lola's. She's awesome, Anne Marie.
Where is that?
She's got a
Let's give her a shout out. Okay.
Yeah, I think I've seen that at like some of these festivals.
Yeah.
Sell like clothing or stuff out of it.
She's
Yes,
awesome.
they're at Arts by the Bay in Bayshore, I believe. But anyway,
Yeah,
go
I've seen
ahead.
a few.
Yeah, so anyone who wants to join, just send us a message, and you know, we'll bring you guys in. You know, it'd be nice to get everyone together and just enjoy, you know, something cool outside with conversions. You know.
And where can people find you on social media, your websites? Give all that information out.
Sure. So our Instagram is APT84bus. And I was going to put it as APT84, and that one was taken by some guy. I guess that's
Some
his.
random guy.
I think that's his apartment, and he's got like 2 posts or something.
That's the
There's
that's
always
the
some
worst.
clown.
That's the worst.
You could ask him for it.
Yeah.
We got the 495 podcast
Yeah.
from some guy in England.
And then I tried getting a handle from someone else, and they were like, "I want $20,000." I'm like,
Yeah.
"You can keep that."
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can keep it. It's not that valuable. So no, so Apartment 84 Bus is on Instagram. We're Apartment 84, APT84 on Facebook. The website's apartment84.com. Don't go to the website. Oh my goodness, please. When I first launched the bus is when I designed the website, and I use the word design very loosely. So
Gotcha. We have a
it's a work in
website guy
progress.
for you guys if you want.
It's a work
The
in-
guy's the man.
Okay, cool.
Andrew Hart, Driven Digital.
Yes, he's awesome.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, any more questions from you?
No, I'm just happy that you guys were able to join us on the 495 podcast. It's awesome being at Nikki's on the Bay. One of the nicer days of the year so far.
Yes.
65 degrees.
65
Yeah,
degrees, sunny,
yeah, great day.
little
Yeah.
windy.
More of this, please.
Do you guys have like friends over for parties on like Friday nights?
We are.
How do we get on that
now, yes. We'll keep you guys posted.
We're actually planning a wine tour, like, you know, with friends and stuff for ourselves, you know, to be able to enjoy, you know, the bus also, you know.
Yeah, you guys are more than welcome to join us. We're trying to
Absolutely.
plan that in the next couple of weeks.
That sounds great.
Drink some wine, have a little party in here, some cheese, some crackers.
Yeah, you got to enjoy it too. You know, it sounds like you're in high demand, but you know, you got to keep morale up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we'll have more as you know, as time goes by. You know, like we just took off like this winter. You know, it's really when we've been putting ourselves out there, letting people know we're here. So this summer is really.
This is our first summer.
Yeah, this is our first
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah, you guys
So,
are
you know,
popping.
so we have a few bookings. Like, we have 14 nurses that are going to be taking a wine tour, so that's going to be fun. So we have a lot, you know, this summer is really our take-up when we're really going to start, you know, doing the tours. And hopefully it goes great, and, you know, and we can continue this every year and bringing the experience to everyone.
And the stand-up paddle boards is through Patrick?
So we're partnering with Long Island Stand Up Paddleboard, and he has been running the paddleboard tours for many years, and we're partnering up with him to have people meet in Patchogue. Most of the restaurants, we're partnered with Del Fuego, and we'll meet either in Babylon or Patchogue, pick you guys up, take you to go to the beach, go paddleboarding, have a great time, hang out on the Skoolie, and then we bring you back and you go have lunch in Del Fuego and have tacos and some margaritas.
Yeah, and they give you $10 off your meal, your drink, so it's really a great
you have
deal,
money towards lunch and you have a great time.
That sounds like the greatest day ever.
Yeah, so it's a lot of things you can do, and if you have like, well, you know what, I can use that bus for whatever idea you might have in your head, send us a message.
Sure.
You know, like we're always willing to work with people, and we love creativity, we love new ideas, and like I said before, it's listening to people is how things come through. It's not, you can't do nothing by yourself. You got to bring other people in, see what people want, and give them what they want.
Love that. Now, not to give any business plan information away, do you guys see yourself running a fleet of these things up and down the island, anything like that? Or are you just taking it day by day, like you said?
That's probably what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we only do have the one, and I think we're going to be quite busy just with this one. And we are working on the van, the 77 Volkswagen, and that's going to be something a little bit different. We'll keep you posted.
That one I won't be driving around. I'm taking engine and everything out of it, so that's going to be a different concept on that.
Okay.
But it's going to be a pretty cool,
Yeah, but it'll be beautiful. Right now, it smells like the 70s. It looks like the 70s.
It's brown and beige. It's rusty, got holes.
Whoever thought muddy brown and mustard yellow goes together as a color scheme? I don't know. But in
it
the
was
70s,
a strange decade for fashion and everything.
They were smoking something. I don't know.
They absolutely were.
Saying, they're more expensive than buying a bus like this. Like,
yeah, because they're in demand, those things.
Man,
and they stopped making them.
Demand right now.
Yeah, they stopped making them. These buses they're making every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, so a fleet of these, that makes sense because in business, the hardest part is creating that demand. And once you have that demand, then you have to figure out how to fill it, right? So that's what you guys. That's the next challenge for you guys.
We got to bring something new. Something. Yeah. This is new.
There's no other Skoolie bus.
There's no other Skoolie doing this. So this is new.
There are people that in Brooklyn. There's a couple in Long Island that they live in it.
Yeah, they're different model.
Something. They're converted, maybe not to this extent, but definitely livable, and. In Brooklyn, they call them van lifers, and they're either living out of a bus or they're living out of a school. They're not supposed to, and
yeah, right.
Every now and then, if you drive across Brooklyn, you might see this random bus with curtains on it, and you just know someone's living in there.
No, nowadays you can't do anything anyway. You're not supposed to do this.
You're not supposed to do that.
And if that van is a rocking, don't go knocking.
Yeah.
Don't. Do not. I've had people come on during the festival, right? A couple of drunk guys in here like, oh, the things we could do. Yeah, the things you can do, but not on my bus.
Oh, man.
Next apartment. Not this apartment.
Yeah.
Apartment 69.
We passed it.
Oh my goodness! Someone asked me, "Would you rent it out for porn?" No, I'm so sorry. No.
Oh man. Well, on that note, you want to take us out, Nick?
Yes. So Kat, Jose, thank you so much for joining us on the 495 podcast.
It's
been so much fun.
Thank you.
It's been relaxing. It's been positive. It's been uplifting.
Yes.
And apparently we're getting a new studio out of it.
Great Long Island headquarters.
Yes.
First newsroom on a bus. It's going to be on national news when this thing hits the road.
Thank you guys for having us, and thank you guys for coming. It was great. And whenever you guys want to have a tour, do something, let us know. We'll have fun.
All right,
awesome. Great.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
The strongest that I've ever felt before. In my current state and in these days of war, we must grow together or the end is near. Thicken up your skin and loosen up your fears. I've been waiting through my limitations, choosing to move.